This is PCJ Radio International, broadcasting to listeners in Port Moresby in Papua New Guinea on 101.9 FM, and to listeners in Europe from 20 to 21 hours UTC on 9405 kHz. Coming up in a moment, Media Network Plus, our weekly communications program. This is PCJ Radio International.
On shortwave, satellite, and the Internet, this is Media Network Plus.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome to another edition of Media Network Plus from PCJ Radio International. I'm Keith Caron. Once a year, broadcasters across the United States, radio and television, gather in Las Vegas, Nevada for the annual National Association of Broadcasters Convention. Now, people outside the United States probably don't know much about it, and even in the United States there are those who've never heard of NAB. Well, to find out a little bit more about what NAB is and to discuss what happened this year, we're now joined by our correspondent in the United States, Paul Walker. Paul, let me begin by asking you, because I'm sure a lot of people have no idea what NAB is. Can you summarize it for us?
It is called the National Association of Broadcasters, Chief, and it is an organization that supports broadcasters in the U.S., helps lobby for new regulations, new rules, and it kind of helps broadcasters as a group. Because when you have a big collective helping you, it's better than one person doing it on their own.
So, for example, you said like a lobby group. So does that mean, for example, let's say the FCC was to introduce new regulations and broadcasters weren't happy about it, the NAB as a group would approach the FCC and say, hey, listen guys, what are you doing here?
Yeah, kind of like a lobbyist. The NAB is kind of like a lobbyist, and they will, help represent broadcasters as a group, because if, the thousands of radio stations we had to represent themselves, it would be a very big, confusing mess. You've got NAB, which is one unified voice.
And what kind of broadcasters are part of the group? Are they just commercial broadcasters, or are there public broadcasters as well?
Anyone and everyone. If you've got a licensed radio station, you can be a member of the National Association of Broadcasters. It does tend to be the commercial broadcasters more so. Some of the little guys don't like the NAB because the NAB is viewed as being for the commercial big guys.
Okay, now you were just attending their annual gathering.
Yes.
This is a lobby group, so what kind of things do they have going on?
Oh, they have everything. Now, the NAB, this is the show that I just attended with TV and radio. And it's a bunch of manufacturers and equipment dealers and product suppliers and program distribution people on display. It's a gathering so you can see what's out there for your radio station or your TV station.
So does that mean, for example, if there's new technology or new software, these companies will be there to promote their hardware and software to different radio stations?
That's exactly what it is. Just to give you an example, there were probably, I'd say about half a dozen to a dozen vendors who deal in just radio station automation programs that were there.
Oh, really?
Yes.
And what about what about, for example, like the final step before listeners can hear, let's say, like transmitters?
Oh, Steve, I was in heaven because
the way you're describing it's like a Star Trek convention for radio geeks.
I don't think I could put it any better than that. It's really what it was. I was here with the and you probably had at least half a dozen transmitter manufacturers, and what was really cool for me was to see how small transmitters have gotten. There was one in particular that I really liked, a company based in London, and